Hi, all. It's me again. So I just wanted to, well, I hope you're doing well, first of all. Yes, I've got a new look. This is a, um, a wrap that I bought from my friend Fahima's store called Tariq. So just wanted to give her a bit of a shout out before I go on and talk about my song series. But yeah, I really love them. So I'm just trying out some new styles. So if you hear any noise, it's just my roommate moving around. And also, I live on my room is at the front of a very busy street, so I get all the noise. So if you hear any cops and robbers, firemen, whatever, Batman coming out to save the day, Superman flying by, that's what it feels like. I feel like there's so much happening on this street. But luckily, my recording studio is outside the store, so it's much quieter in the living room space area, so it's kind of contained. But anyway, I just want to take a moment to talk about um, my songwriting process. Usually, I like to do a little songwriter series, and I just want to talk about an upcoming song that I'm writing. So I think last time I talked about collaboration, about how I wasn't sure how the process should go and things. I do have a new collaboration. I've actually started meeting people, and it I haven't I started meeting people, but I haven't actually worked with them quite yet. But I think it's something that's going to happen fairly soon. So I'll, give you the update on that and how things are going there. Um, but there is one that I started a few months ago. Someone I met through social media, and we've collaborated on one song already. So I actually he's in New Jersey as well, and I was able to go to his recording studio and record the song. So it's very funny because the first song we collaborated on, I gave him an old song that I had already written. So I sang the melody and the lyrics only. There was a track with it, but I didn't particularly care for the track. It wasn't really a fully finished track. So I decided, you know what? Let me just see what he comes up with the melody and the lyrics. And I thought he was going to only, put a track to the lyrics, but I don't think that he did. He said, and this is what he said. He said it wasn't that he didn't like it. He didn't feel a vibe from the lyrics and the melody itself. But he was able to get a lyric and a melody out of it, and he came up with a different song idea, a different song topic and idea. So when he sent it back to me, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. Yes, of course, I was disappointed, and that's part of this whole process. You do feel like, well, was my idea not good enough? And that's not the point. That's not the point of collaboration sometimes. Sometimes the point is just to come up with a really good idea that is workable and that you can present to people because you want there to be an idea where everybody can relate. And that was what we were going for. So I'm not saying that the idea that I came up with no one could relate to. I think it is relatable, but it didn't put him in the mood or didn't give him the vibe that he needed to write the track. But the idea that came out of it did. And he wrote a really good track. Now, mind you, I wasn't all that sold on it the very first time I heard it. I listened to it and I was like, eh. And I listened to it, I think I didn't listen to it just once. I listened to it a few times. And I wasn't impressed at first. But then as I went and started doing some things off on the side, I started to realize my brain was like, "Come on, sugar, now don't you remember we were young, wild and free? Come on, sugar, now don't you remember?" And I was even doing a little bop, a little bop. I was like, "Wait a minute. If I'm singing the chorus, if I grasp the chorus that quickly, maybe this has some potential. Maybe I should just like listen to it a little bit more and see if I can write some lyrics around that chorus that he wrote." And he actually had a verse too, but it wasn't a fully formed verse. And so I listened to it again. And what it made me think of was of my aunts and uncles and how they would talk about their younger days, their glory days, kind of. And I was like, you know what? Um, I think this is gonna work. So as I kind of thought in that frame of mind of aunts and uncles, those old stories, older songs where they talk about those glory days and how it was really great to grow up. I was like, this is what that song should be. And so I wrote it, I remember back in school, I never played well by the rules. Mama called me her wild child. Oh, if you give an inch, I take a mile. Tell it like it is, 'cause that's my style. Come on, sugar, now don't you remember we were young, wild and free? Come on, sugar, now don't you remember how it felt to be carefree? Come on, sugar, now don't you remember how to love, wild and free? So it all kind of flowed really nicely. And I had to work on it for maybe 2, 3 days, just to get the right flow for the lyrics. And I'm sure that if I worked with someone else, it might be some more really great ideas. And I'm sure if I come up with anything else, we'll, make some adjustments to those lyrics, because it's not out yet, but it's coming. But I like the presentation of the track, especially now that he's finished working on it with, some live musicians and things. But it's a lot. It was a lot of fun to record, and I enjoyed singing it. And I think that was something I realized made the collaboration process even more enjoyable. He's a really good guy, um, and we were able to work together, in a very productive way. We got the recording done in about 3.5 hours, so it was long, but we did get it finished. And I was pleased with the final product that he presented to me when it was just the track and my voice, and then once he put the live instruments on, I was like, okay, it bumped it up to sound great. Um, so this next song I was writing, and he gave it to me at the end of November, like I think 2 weeks after I already recorded the first one that we worked on together, and I had a hard time trying to think of the right song, like the right words, the lyrics, the melody. I was like, I'm really having a hard time. And so I came up with all these ideas, but they weren't the right ideas. The topics and the vibe and the melodies that I came up with just did not fit. They didn't sound right. I tried to use an old song and fit it in there, but I was like, something about that doesn't seem right. I think I should leave that song alone because I really like that original tune the way it is. And it has a full track, it's already fit complete. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to transfer it to another track. So I ended up deciding that I would just take the time to, let it sit with me. I thought it was only going to take a week. It ended up taking 2 months. Um, and it wasn't until recently that I found a song topic to sing about that kind of came out of just being obsessed with the story of Harry and Meghan. Lately, the last, I guess, 3 months or so, I would say about 3 months, maybe 2 months, but the last couple of weeks, I have been so obsessed with their story, like following them and how people are like make like all the gossip and things that people are saying about them, and that the people that are saying, oh, they're being this and they're being that, and there's just a lot of talking heads who have something to say about them and what they've decided to do with their own lives. And I was just like, wow, I can't imagine being the two of them. Like, they seem like pretty nice people. I don't know them personally. I'm sure that they have their flaws like everyone else. But I'm like, why are these people like, why are they after them? Like, why are they going for them? Why are they coming for them the way they are? Like, what is so horrible about wanting your own life? And to be independent and to be, not have the paparazzi lie about you and I really feel for him because I know what his we know the story of his past. We know, how he lost his mother and things like that. So I really feel for him, and I guess that really has me engaged in certain ways because I do see a lot of his mother in him that just wants to be free, just wants to really live that independent life without the people chasing him down and calling him out on every little thing when he's just trying to change the world or do better or whatever is with his platform, with who he is. He's taking accountability and responsibility. Anyway, I'm not trying to get into that topic, but what I'm trying to say is that just following their story for a little while, uh, a few days ago, inspired a song out of me. So, and I realized as I was singing the melody, reading another, it's just shamefully, I'm so sorry to say, but I was reading another piece of gossip about them, and I just thought, these poor people in a way. Um, and suddenly I had an idea for a song. And so as I was singing the chorus, the verses were coming to me too. And, I was like, I'm sure that, like Megan might say to the people, and he might, and Harry might say too. And no, it wasn't just them, but it was just like anyone who's out there in the public eye, just what they might want to say to their haters. And so I ended up writing this song, and it was fully formed within, I would say, within the hour. So, and that's how I know, because sometimes there are songs that take a few months to put together. There's certain songs that take, a few years to put together. Sometimes you don't really think of a lyric, you don't finish that song lyrically for a year or two, or whenever you get back to it. But there are songs in my, portfolio that were very easy to write, and this was one of them. Um, so it didn't take me long. It took me, an hour, maybe an hour or two, I'll say. And I was able to, play with it and sing the chorus out loud. And I put it together with his track, and I sent it to him, and he liked it. So it really does pay off sometimes to just spend some time. And like I said, now that since I have the luxury of that time and I'm not a songwriter for hire, it's a beautiful thing. I really enjoy that process, and I'm glad that I took the time and I didn't push myself to just write that song in such a hurry. Um, Not saying that it would have been bad if I had, but I think the song idea was so easy to write because I had something. I was already engaged in the outside world with everything that's going on. And a lot of the ideas that I came up with before I came up with that idea had to do with what was already happening, but they weren't right for that track. It, it happens. It does happen. So, but I'm glad that, again, something came up, and I was able to apply it. And now I get to work with um, this producer again. Hopefully we'll get to record this track sometime, maybe in the spring, because I can't. Right now it's snowing. We have lots of snow today. It's cold. It's February, so we'll see. But yeah, I was really, really pleased with that. So that's the journey that I took today. So I'll sing you a little bit of it before I go. So anyway, it's called Talking. Right now it's called, that's the working title. But I started winning then, they started gossiping. They saw my light shine bright and how it changed my life. Look how they came for me, throwing the shade on me, but they weren't able to make a fool out of me, no. All that talking, 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 gossip, calling it news. Their lips keep moving, tracking what I'm doing. I don't get it, tell me, do you? And that's the song right now. I'm gonna do it more later, so I'll sing you more later. Hopefully I'll have a track for it fairly soon. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. But yeah, that was fun to write. There's more verses and more choruses. There's like, I think 3 choruses and 5 verses right now that I have to rework. But that's the one I really like, and I'm going to use it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you are, again, going on your own particular journeys. Share with me your processes for your songs, like how has it been going for you. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to read about it. Again, I'm engaged with other people's lives and how they're working. So especially in this time of COVID. So since we're all indoors, mostly indoors rather than outdoors. So don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you liked it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. But hopefully there's some other content that I have that you really enjoy. So don't be a stranger. Bye. Have a great week.